Oppenheimer rightly understood the power inherent within the atom as divine power. In a famous quote repeated in the movie, the father of the atom bomb said, quote, "The atomic bomb is a terrible revelation of divine power." Wow. This statement is quite pregnant with implication and with significance. In a book that I wrote and published in 1998, The Book of God, an encyclopedia of proof that the black man is God. And the book is available on our website. We said in the book in 1998, the study of the atom, nuclear physics, is the scientific study of Allah. It is one of the most revealing theological pursuits. The mind and the power of Allah were first observable in the atom. End quote. It was the most honorable Elijah Muhammad who has taught us of the divine nature and divine history of the micro atom and the macro atom. How came the black God, Mr. Muhammad? This is the way he was born. In total darkness. There was no light nowhere. And out of the orbit of the universe of darkness, there sparkled an atom of life, the most honorable Elijah Muhammad says. Long before there was a where and a when, he was God. A little small atom of life rolling around in darkness, building up itself, just turning in darkness, making its own self. How came the black God, Mr. Muhammad? He is self-created. All praises belongs to Allah. The most honorable Elijah Muhammad, from God himself, teaches us that the beginning began around 76 or 78 trillion years ago. God at that time was a powerful but inconspicuous force that had been lying dormant and hidden for an unspecified number of eons, hidden within a substantive material darkness, a triple darkness of space. At a certain point, some 76 or 78 trillion years ago, that divine force mysteriously started pulsating, and an atom exploded into existence, giving birth to sound and to light. Of course, the singularity, Big Bang scenario of modern scientific theories parallels the divine teachings of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad on this point. They parallel each other in ways that must be appreciated. The father of the so-called Big Bang theory is George Lemaitre, Belgian cosmologist and Catholic priest. Lemaitre, in May 1931, advanced a very novel at that time, but very important theory by combining the new science of nuclear physics with the second law of thermodynamics. Lemaitre scientifically and mathematically proved or argued that the universe began with a primeval atom, a single quantum of matter that gave birth to everything in the universe. After the atom underwent a violent radioactive explosion billions of years ago, producing an ever expanding fireworks show of cosmic rays that continues to this day. The cosmic rays shooting through the universe are essentially fossils of that initial divine atom that exploded. This is what we are told. These cosmic fireworks marked the beginning and, we might add, marked the fiat lux moment of the universe. Fiat lux, of course, is the Latin rendering of the biblical statement, let there be light. But it gets deeper, dear family. Lemaitre's primeval atom, single atom, that at the beginning of the universe exploded, giving birth to the universe, just as the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad teaches us. Lemaitre's primeval atom was identified with the mythological cosmic egg, a religious tradition. This widespread ancient tradition symbolically described the primeval substance in creation as an egg in which everything was contained, including God, and out of which everything emerged, including God. This is why the primeval atom, that original atom, that atom at the beginning of the universe, this started it all. This is why it has since been called Lemaitre's egg, in recognition of its relation to the cosmogonic egg of ancient mythology. Both the primeval atom of Lemaitre's scientific cosmology and the cosmic egg of ancient religious mythology corroborate the divine teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. He spoke of the connection between the egg and the atom himself in his important book, Our Savior Has Arrived. He said, quote, take a magnifying glass and start looking at these little atoms out here in front of you. You see they are egg-shaped and they are oblong. You crack them open and you find everything in them that you find out here. End quote. The universe was hatched from a primeval cosmic egg, an atom that exploded into material existence. With the birth of this atom, the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad teaches us, we have the manifestation of that all-important yet mysterious force called electricity. Manly P. Hall, the renowned scholar of ancient and esoteric traditions, informs us that the ancients used the serpent, because of its motion, to symbolize electricity or force. Electricity passing between the poles of a spark gap is serpentine in its motion. The Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad teaches us, and science backs him up, that there was some measure of intelligence inherent in the atom. The atom was never an inanimate object. The atom, from the very beginning was animated by and with the spirit of God Allah and the mind of God Allah. Very important to our discussion of Oppenheimer, the atomic bomb, and the mother wheel. Western science gives us good reason to believe and identify the primeval atom as the hydrogen atom, the simplest of all atoms with the atomic number 1, possessing only one proton, one electron, and no neutron. The hydrogen atom is the foundation of the material universe, as all other atoms of the periodic table are only complex forms built upon this simple one atom. With the intelligence within this original primeval atom, it self evolved the first brain cell or neuron, powered by that mysterious electricity, and subsequently the divine brain of God was the first anatomical structure to develop. God's brain power will eventually grow to be limitless, and with it, he willed the full divine human form into existence, atom by atom, cell by cell, over a period of divine self evolution or self creation that took 6 trillion years, according to the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. This then is the esoteric and the theological backdrop to the atomic bomb that J. Robert Oppenheimer is called the father of, from the divine history of the atom, is the history of the divine evolution of God himself from the microscopic atom to the macroscopic atom, Allah, the original man. We can thus understand better Oppenheimer's words that we quoted earlier. The atomic bomb is a terrible revelation of divine power. Indeed, it is. Oppenheimer knew something that most don't know, but which you all now know if you didn't already know. It is, I think, proper to point out here that the mythological cracking of the cosmic egg is the equivalent of the scientific splitting of the atom. As mentioned, we have reason to believe that the 1938 German breakthrough with the atom resulted from the effort to reverse engineer the 1933 recovered disk. It has been theorized that nuclear energy fuels these so-called flying saucers. At least this is one of the suggestions coming out of the decades-long reverse engineering efforts of the US government, which Pentagon whistleblower David Grush revealed during the latest congressional hearing. There is great evidence that the baby planes, as studied first in Italy and Germany, and then in America, that these Western scientists were able to discern that the craft are powered by some nuclear power, atomic energy, nuclear propulsion. And the evidence is strong, and we present it in our Oppenheimer brief. The evidence is strong that the atomic secrets of the baby plane that fell into the possession of the West, the atomic secrets of that craft, spawned the atomic bomb of the US, spawned the nuclear weapons program of the US. Now, documents linked to President Franklin Delano Roosevelt actually confirm the development, or confirm that the development of the atom bomb is in fact connected to the recovered so-called alien technology. These are two very important documents, leaked documents attributed to President Roosevelt. Both of these documents establish the direct connection between the atomic secrets, as they are called, of the recovered UFO and the atomic bomb of the US. The clearest nexus between the UFO recovery and research operation on the one hand, and the atomic bomb operation or Manhattan Project on the other hand, the clearest nexus between these two operations is Dr. Vannevar Bush. He was over the National Defense Research Committee in 1940 and over its successor, the Office of Scientific Research and Development, in 1941. As such, it was Bush who coordinated almost all wartime military research and development and initiated the Manhattan Project. Dr. Bush clearly shows that these two operations are connected. Dr. Bush, by two operations, meaning the research of the recovered UFO operation and the atomic bomb operation, these two operations here in America were connected. Dr. Bush, in addition to publicly leading the Office of Scientific Research and Development, Dr. Bush also headed a secret unit tasked with studying the recovered disk. Now, important. The name of this committee that Dr. Bush, led, that secretly studied for President Roosevelt, secretly studied the disk that America is now in possession of. Or, I'm sorry, she isn't in possession of the disk yet. That won't happen until after the war. America would take possession of the 1933 disk. However, these documents indicate that America had access to some of the materials that were a part of the study of that disk. The committee that studied these materials was led by Dr. Bush, and it was called, quote, Special Committee on Non-Terrestrial Science and Technology. Non-terrestrial science and technology. Now, we're going to come back to that language. non-terrestrial, Special Committee on Non-Terrestrial Science and Technology. In an important February 21st, 1942 memo from President Roosevelt, he acknowledges, quote, the atomic secrets learned from the study of celestial devices. And he acknowledges that these atomic secrets are of great significance toward the development of a super weapon of war. In other words, in both of the documents that we highlighted, President Roosevelt explicitly references the study of these celestial devices. He explicitly references the atomic secrets. This is 1942. The Manhattan Project is just now getting started. And in these presidential memos, Roosevelt acknowledges that the development of this super weapon of war is dependent on the atomic secrets learned from the study of these celestial devices, the study that Dr. Vannevar Bush led.